Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is June 20th, 2018. I'm Eric. So, I've been kind of corresponding with a gentleman by the name of Joseph Long, and I'm going to write or read his comment right quick here, and then break off into a subject. I wrote you last night. I'm the Army Ranger. I have so much I need to tell someone. And with all the so-called patriots on the YouTube, I have a feeling about you I can trust. I was also stationed at Area 51 for 28 months. But I am under a disclosure gag for 30 years, but fuck them. They didn't tell me that they were going to poison me. My wife says we could be brothers because we talk about the same shit. I wish there was a way to get you my phone number. I left you the email address. What I have to say, you won't believe it. I know for a fact when Bob Lazar came out about Area 51 20 years later, when I was there, they were still talking about how much they tried to ruin his life. Now, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to give this Area 51 topic a crack. I think some of you probably recognize these pictograms. These are pictograms of the Anunnaki. Now, I haven't been able to find the one that I wanted to, but the one I wanted to show you is an Anunnaki king sitting on a throne and another Anunnaki king standing next to an obelisk. Now, everyone thinks the obelisk stands for male genitalia, but it is not. It does not stand for that, and the perverts who came up with that really need to fucking wash their minds of their perversions. The obelisk does not stand for male genitalia. Alright? So anyway, this Anunnaki king that was standing, he was as tall as the obelisk. Now, on the other side, with the seated Anunnaki king, was a small king, a human king. And this took place after the deluge, or as you know, the Noah's flood. You know it as the Noah's flood. And after the flood, the Anunnaki decided to give man dominion over the earth, and they appointed special bloodlines to rule over the rest of man. This is where the idea of divine right to rule comes from. Now, Area 51. I think Area 51 is used to keep in contact with the Anunnaki or their worker race known as the Greys. We're all familiar with the Greys. They are said to be linked with the Anunnaki as some sort of worker race. I'm thinking maybe they were the Igigi. I'm not 100% sure. But nonetheless, this is where all of our technology throughout the eons have come from. It's come from these people. I call them people because they are, for all intents and purposes, exactly like us. Very self-destructive, very authoritarian, very I view them in a bad light. Now, there's one particular Anunnaki king, or whatever you want to call him, and his name is Enki. Now, Enki is the person who spliced his DNA with ours, and he has a particular soft spot for his human creations. It's probably the only Anunnaki that I would say is decent. Okay. Now, he's the one that went to Noah and told Noah to gather the seed of all the animals. He did not tell Noah to gather all the animals. That would be logistically impossible. But the seeds of these animals. And then after the flood, they came down, found that man survived somehow because of Enki. And we've been ruled sort of indirectly by these people, this entity, ever since. And I think Area 51 is probably connected to the communication and all that with these Anunnaki and gray species. You let me know if I got it right there, Joseph. I'm pretty sure I'm close. But more about these people. You know, this right here, this is the tree of life, right? A lot of people think it was literally a tree that existed on the planet, but it's not. It was a star constellation. And a lot of people think that they are the reptilians. They're not the reptilians. It's a completely different race of species. They're different. They're not the Anunnaki. Anunnaki were not reptilian. They looked like us, more or less. They were much bigger than us, but overall, they had mostly what we see as human features today. And there is a particular race on this planet whose DNA has not been tampered with by the Anunnaki. Anyone care to take a guess at which race that is? I'll tell you. It's the people who come from Africa. They are the only genetically pure human beings. How's that for a shocker? The rest of us were infused with the genes of these rulers, these Anunnaki. This is supposed to be Gilgamesh. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Epic of Gilgamesh, but I strongly suggest that you familiarize yourself with this history because it is key to what's going on in our world now. I do believe that this race has been back here over and over again throughout our existence to keep in check our governments. And the reason why it's relevant to you today is because many people believe, and probably accurately, that the planet these species come from is getting closer to us. And that's Planet X, Nibiru, whatever you want to call it, Planet 9. It was once called Planet 10. Jesus Christ. So anyway, I'm sorry I got interrupted again for the second time. All of our roots, everything that we are, really goes back to these Anunnaki people. And so, you know, I really think that that Area 51 is probably a communication port or something like that between the human species and those people, those species. I'm going to do a little more videos about this. I'm going to talk about how the Earth was created, and it's pretty amazing. It really is. But until next time, kill the state and live free.